And all is the best.
Likkutei Torah, Parshas Tazria, page Chaf Aleph, like 20 lines to the top. Okay. The Alter Rebbe first explained the concept of Shabbos, the Avedis of Berurim in the 6 days, and Shabbos elevates those 6 days. But that's all the Aveda that's connected to the 6 days. Based on what you do in the 6 days, that's how much you get on Shabbos. So therefore he says that's a limited level. Because even though it's Atzilus, but it's the way Atzilus comes into the lower worlds, like Yishmael and Avram had a Yishmael and Yitzchak had an Yosef and so on.
I thought it was reversed. Shabbos dictates the whole week.
Both. Shabbos elevates the previous week and blesses the next week. Both things. So he said, V'zehu dafking in Shabbos. This is a level of Shabbos, which is a Sirus de la'ela lefi a Sirus de l'sata. That's the awakening from above, that's based, like you said, based on how much you work you do during the week. That's how much revelation you're going to get above, which is the tikkun of Ma'adavar. Okay, now he says, but there's an awakening, which is infinitely greater than the Aved of the Jew. There's one level of Isurus awakening from above, which is based on what you do, that's how much you get. But then there's awakening from above, you could call it a bonus. You get awakening from above that the Avodah that you did has no comparison to it whatsoever. 1 minute. That the Avodah down here can't even reach, meaning it's a level which is above Avodah. Because whatever a Jew does in Avodah is limited. As great as they are, they're still limited. They're still in a goof. Like it says about Avram Avinu, even though he was Avram Avinu, Mikol Mekem Gufu, he was still in a body. There's still a limitation in Aveda. But then there's a level of revelation from above, which is above any level of Aveda could reach. That's the revelation from the level of Adam Kadman, Ak. Which doesn't dress itself at all in worlds, meaning it's infinitely greater than worlds. That's the place where Bris Mila accomplishes. Why? The foreskin covers that area, meaning that area of Bris Mila comes from the level of Adam Kadman, which is the first level after the Tzimtzum, which is higher than all those levels below it. But then it's concealed. And that level cannot be revealed. Even though it's nothing to do with Aveda down here, but if there's a blockage, it still can't reveal itself. Like it says, the Atas Brisi Tishma, you should keep my covenant. Atav Zarach Achrech you and your children for all generations. Va'adol Zachar Shalayimel. And any male that won't circumcise himself. And therefore it has to be Mila, Miloshin Krisa. It has to be an expression of cutting, or Miloshim Melil and Melilis. Okay, and also the concept of talking, Mal Lashin Gilui, which is also the expression of Gilui, which is Gilui Bechinas Ak. This is a revelation of Ak. And he says, even though we're saying this level can't be revealed in world. How do you say that through doing a bris milah you reveal that level in world? He says, a revelation, ha'ara of that level though is revealed. In other words, you're really revealing the whole thing. What you feel is only a ray of that gilui. But bottom line is, Bris Milah is infinitely greater than Shabbos. Shabbos is an awakening from above. It's a holier day. Holier day means, by definition, it's a revelation of greater godliness. But it's a revelation of greater godliness, it's a holier day, based on the Avodah of the week. But then they have Bris Milah, which is a revelation of Elokus that, yes, you need to remove the foreskin, But what is the mitzvah? The mitzvah is not to cause the gilui, because that avodah can't cause a gilui. That work avodah can't. This revelation is too great that work should affect it in any way. But what you do, ganze of the bris milah is removing the covering, and then you have the revelation.
Bris milah is one day, at one time. This is every Shabbat.
Bris milah, by the way, there's a whole thing from the Rogatchover that the Rebbe brings out many places. Bris milah is continuous. Pu'ula nimshechet, it's called. It's a continuous act. That's why when you were still not here. The Gemara tells a story that he brought at the beginning of the Maamar, that when David Melech was in the bathhouse, he felt bad because he was naked for mitzvahs. He had no tefillin, no tzitzis, no nothing. And then he realized he had a bris. So then he says, Sas anechi al mirosecha. That's why they say that pasuk at a bris. I'm rejoicing for you're telling me, Kameitze Shalol Rav, like I found a big treasure. So the question is, he put tefillin on yesterday too. Why? It's the milah he did 70 years ago. I mean, like, whatever. So from there, the Rogatchover proves that bris milah is a continuous action. It's similar, by the way, you have the same thing in tefillin. The mitzvah of the hand tefillin is putting it on. Ukshartam la'isa yadecha. The Rogatchover says this also. The mitzvah is, ukshartam la'isa yadecha means, tie it for a mitzvah. You did it, that's it, mitzvah is done. By tefillin sharash, it says, v'hoyu l'teitafes beinenecha. It doesn't say put on the head. It should be worn as a, so the Rogatchover says, the sharash, every time you wear it, it's another mitzvah. It's continuous.
If you have a head.
Yeah.
So how come bris milah is not observed like Shabbos is?
What are you talking about?
It's not observed. It's not a holiday. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you don't see Tachon that day. What is this?
If you do halachas,
Because this level of bris milah is a revelation that comes even so low, lower than Shabbos.
you don't need to.
Right? You don't need to refrain from work because.
A Jewish man must have two otiyot on him, two oats.
Yeah.
So how come Rabbi Melech was satisfied with one oat?
No, because one is what we do, one is what Hashem gives us.
So Rabbi, the Misal Tefillin is one mitzvah or two mitzvahs?
No, it's two mitzvahs. One is the hand, one is the head. Therefore, let's say you don't have a head, you put on the hand anyway. Yeah? But I'm saying the difference is the hand film when you, like lulav and esrog, yeah? You put it together, you did the mitzvah. You're going to stay there another 20 minutes, it's not doing anything. The mitzvah was to put it together, you did. By tefillin, hand tefillin, the mitzvah is putting it on. By the head mitzvah, the mitzvah is wearing it.
Yesterday you said that Avraham Avinu was created a certain way by Hashem. So the happening, somebody can go and say, there is such and such tava to have tava for certain things. He did it. Hashem did it.
Yeah, Hashem created okay. In the secular world, a person who is born with the tendencies of stealing, you have to let him go when he steals, because that's his tendency. If he has a tendency to kill, this is where the world is going now, by the way. He has a tendency to kill, so when he kills, what do you want from him? It's not his fault. Comes along Torah 3,000 years and goes, no, it doesn't work like that. Even if you have a tendency to steal, you have the ability to control not to steal. You have a tendency to be whatever, transgender, gay, whatever you want to call it, or you have a tendency to kill. Yeah, you might have the tendency. Nobody's blaming you for the tendency. You're not responsible for the tendency, but you have an ability to control the tendency. So you can't say because a person was born with a tendency, that's the way I'm born, that's it, I can do whatever I want.
That's what he said yesterday.
No, he didn't.
Avraham Avinu was chesed of Atzilus. He was chesed. And Hashem created him. That we cannot blame him.
He created him with the ability of Chesed of Atzilus, but he did it. He made it.
Made what?
He made himself act Chesed. Unbelievable Chesed.
And you really was this.
No, that doesn't mean Hashem made him, therefore, so why is he getting reward for being who he is?
You should not blame him.
I'm not blaming, I'm saying, if Avram Avinu was created Avram Avinu, so why is he rewarded for being Avram Avinu?
Because you have to put it in.
You don't reward a Malach for being good. He's created good, that's it.
Because you have to put it in action.
Avram Avinu, the Alter Rebbe says in Tanya, but also tzaddikim, you have to be born with the ability to be a tzaddik. You and me cannot be a tzaddik. Okay? You have to be born. You have to be born with the ability to be a tzaddik. Of Tanya I'm talking about. Many people could be born with the ability to be a tzaddik and they choose not to. There are many great neshamas that decide to be a Rishoyim.
Alter Rebbe wrote the book How to Be a Tzaddik.
No, he didn't. Yeah, but that was
He
burnt.
got burned.
He got rid of it.
So there is a possibility of being tzaddik, even if you are not.
Try it.
No, in
Try.
Perek Tezvav, the Alter Rebbe says you got to try.
Try.
You try hard enough, Hashem will give you the neshama of another tzaddik.
He didn't get rid of it on purpose. It was a fire.
No, he burnt it.
He burned it?
It was a fire. He burnt his parish on Chumash. And it was 10 years.
The Alter Rebbe burned
He
Sefer Shel
burnt
Tzaddik.
his Sefer Tzaddik.
The Alter Rebbe burned Sefer Shel Tzaddik.
I thought he
There was a
got-
big fire in Lubavitch in the Rebbe Merash's time that burnt a lot of stuff that we don't have today.
I thought he got burnt in
No,
Alter Rebbe
that
burned-
Alter Rebbe burned.
Alter Rebbe on purpose burned it?
Yeah, because he was told it wasn't for the world.
Because of what? You told them what?
It wasn't for you and me.
The Bechira Chofshi goes over and behind what Hashem has given somebody.
Correct. A person who is born from Hashem with negative tendencies has the ability given to them by Hashem to overcome it. If you are not born with an evil tendency, you don't have the ability to overcome that tendency. A person who is creative, you have other evil tendencies. Like every person has, some people are into food, some people are into desecration, whatever. Every person has different evil tendencies. So that evil tendency that I have, Hashem gives me koyach to overcome it. Like the Rebbe told that guy who was going with the shiksa, I'm jealous of you because you have the ability to overcome this and I don't have this as a desire, so I can't overcome this.
But he doesn't need to because he doesn't have.
Correct. Why? We don't need to because that's not our avodah. Our avodah is to overcome the negative tendencies we do have.
It's easier to do all
And that's called the Beinani. Okay, and then he says, we mentioned this last night, that this is the Inyan of Mila on the 8th day. One of the reasons why, of Shabbos Achas, at least from the birth until the baby is circumcised, should be a Shabbos. Why? Because as an introduction to Bris Milah, Shabbos is an awakening from above. But it's a limited awakening from above based on Aveda. But once you get that awakening from above, then you can come to the second level of awakening from above, Bris Milah, which is from Ak, which is infinitely greater.
Sarat is higher than Brit Milah.
What?
Sarat, the Torah.
Saras?
It pushes away Brit Milah, no?
No. You do Bris Milah, push away Saras.
Even if there is a...
If somebody has, you like this in the Torah, it says you're not allowed to cut off leprosy. What happens if somebody has leprosy on the place where they do need to do the bris?
You do the Brit.
You do the bris and cut off the leprosy. Why? Because positive mitzvah pushes off a negative mitzvah. Okay, let's see where this parenthesis ends.
Although it's not feasible to say that an 8-year-old day old baby has tzaras. I wouldn't say lashon hara.
No, what happens if it's an adult?
I'm just saying. Okay.
It's possible to have Mila with a baby. It's a different reason. Not because he spoke Lashon Hara.
Unborn baby may have it from the mother, no?
No, we're not, you're talking about physical leprosy. Torah leprosy is not physical. Okay, I know where the parentheses ends. That's weird. Okay, whatever. Let's in this parentheses. Why does he need a Shabbos before the bris? After the revelation of Shabbos is revealed, which is the level of Sirusa de La'ela, awakening from above, which is Suavaida, then you're able to have this awakening from above, which is infinitely greater than the Sirusa de L'Sato. Oh, here's where it ends. Okay. He said, okay, now there's two parts to bris milah. Okay, he's going to explain this now at Chassidus. There's two parts of a bris milah. When you have the foreskin, there's a thick foreskin that you cut off. Okay, you pick it up and you cut it. But then there's a thinner layer that has to do priya. Priya is tearing it with your nails and pushing it back. So he says in the midbar, the Jews were only commanded, not in the mitzvah priya, only removing the outer foreskin. He says, only to remove the outer foreskin. Then in the midbar, they're commanded also priya, to remove the thinner covering, to be a greater revelation. In other words, Alter Rebbe says like this. He was saying, why does Mila reveal from Ak? You're not doing an action, Savaida can't reach it. What Bris Mila does is removing of the covering. Yeah? So before Matan Torah, they were only able to take off the thicker foreskin, because the thinner foreskin still covered the gilui. But in the midbar, they were commanded to do the pri also to uncover the thinner layer inside, because then you have a much greater gilui. Which is Shema Shabel Matikun. Because it comes in a limited way, and a klippas minimum akfin. Then klipa doesn't cover it so much. Klipa can't cover it so much because it's a gilui that's already limited. If it's a limited gilui, so concealment doesn't cover, it's already concealed. Therefore, Avraham Avinu had a nevuah. Hashem spoke to him before. Like it says many times, because he was a merkavet to Chesed of Atzilus. Right? So therefore he's like this. Once he did the bris milah, the outer foreskin, he was still able to be forget. He says he was a Navi even before the foreskin. But could that gilui that Hashem revealed to him was limited. It was limited. Therefore, Hashem was able to reveal to him and talk to him in a level of nevuah. But after he did the bris, then Hashem was Vayera Elav Hashem in a way of re'iyah. All the time it's Vayem Hashem al Avram, Vayem Hashem al Avram, it was a mere speech. After the bris milah, what happened? Vayera Elav Hashem. It was a gilui of re'iyah. It was a much greater level of elokus revealed within him. Gilu, you say the Ak, but in order to have the revelation of Ak, Nistav ala Mila, he was commanded. An Mila hachas erla chafefes. to cover the Arla that covers Sheba Arla, Zuine Arla, Mr. Teresim Alamis, Milar Gila Kazet. Then, because this Arla blocks this revelation of unlimited revelation. Shubali Islabshis, Shardas, or Anim Islabish, Anim Mulubavishis, Begadet Alman Klal, that's Mokim Melech Hashmini. He says, V'zeh Shaman Azal B'Yushalmi, Amir Ablezer Beit Avavina, Mitzvah Shabbos Moli, B'Shnei Vovin. It says, V'Esa Shabbos, V'Shabbos Kosh Chalom Eidaita U'Mitzvah Chukim V'Chenu V'Rabbi. It's okay. L'Diyam, Shishkula Keneged Kol Mitzvah Yisrael Torah. It says like this. Shabbos, like we know, is equal to all mitzvahs. Shabbos is equal to all mitzvahs. That's why, you're openly mechalu Shabbos. No, you'll have a din like a guy. V'amila deicha Esa, and Mila pushes that one off. That's the great. So he says, Marshal l'shnei matrunis, she'iborizu gabzu, ve'inatu yedei ezik dei lemechavet. It's like two queens, two officers, are walking next to each other, and you don't know who's greater of the two. So what happens? This one that is been pushed away because of the other one means the first one is the one that pushes away the other and lets it go first. Is the greater one. Two people are walking, yeah. So how do you know which one's greater? When they come to a door where only one can go in, so that one that goes first is greater. Correct? So you have Mila and Shabbos, they're both great. How do you know which one's greater? Mila pushes away Shabbos. So if Mila pushes away Shabbos, Shabbos has to have respect for Mila, so Mila is higher.
It doesn't have anything to do with each other. Mila is something...
Both are revelations from above. It's not true. Shabbos is a revelation from above, but one that's dependent on Avodah. Mila is a revelation from above, what's nothing to, all you got to do is remove the covering.
That's also our Avodah. If you don't do it, then do it.
Yeah, but it's not
a Mila.
positive action of doing good.
Yeah, it is.
No, you're removing, it's taking off the helam.
Right.
They have... the Goyim do it, but the Jews also do it. They have an unveiling. An unveiling. On the monument. By Yidden, we don't have such a thing, unveiling. So they cover the monument, and then they come there, they unveil it. And then that's what they do, right? And then they read the... So what did the unveiling do? It made the letters of the tombstone? No. They were there. It wasn't revealed. So all it does, you remove the barrier, and now there's a revelation. But it didn't do the tombstone. It didn't write the letters. You're just uncovering. That's what Bris Milah is. It's not an action. It's a removing of the blockage.
It's equal to all the Shabbos.
It's even greater than Shabbos. Like it says, it says 13 times the word bris, which is even greater than Torah. It comes from Yisayid of Yesh by Yud Gimel Tikun Dikna Shem Yud Gimel Midas Rachmim, which is above the level of Shabbos. In other words, why are there 13 brisin? It says 13 covenants were made by bris milah, meaning in Torah about a bris milah it says 13 times the word bris. Yeah. Huh? In Chumash. Hashem told Avraham to make a bris and make a bris.
13 times?
13 times.
Shabbat is 42.
No.
63.
What's that? What are you talking about?
72.
You Shabbat 42 times, no?
You keep Shabbos 42 times?
No, it's mentioned in Chumash 42 times, and one should keep Shabbat.
Yeah, where?
63 times.
Where?
That many times?
No. Where does it say 42 times Shabbos?
Or the word chapter.
The Safari.
Yeah, in the Sephardic Sefer Torah, maybe. In the one Hashem gave to the Ashkenazi, Moshe Rabbeinu didn't they?
Right, Moshe Rabbeinu.
Yeah, Rabbeinu. Okay, so it says, why is this 13 bris mentioned by Bris Milah? Because Bris Milah is from Yud Gimel Midas Rachamim, which is higher than the world's. Which is Chachma Meichen Da'aba. And that all the way comes down. Therefore, it's called Matrunusa Yosef. Therefore, what does the mashal give? The Medrash gives a mashal of Bris Milah pushing off Shabbos from the level of a queen. You two queens are going together, you don't know which one's greater. So the one that goes in front of the other one pushes, okay. What's the person? Bris Milah with that? Because Bris Milah brings down that level of Akko, that level of Yud Gimel Midas Rachma, all the way down into Malchus. Matrinus is a queen, Malchus. And he says, that when you have Mal, you have Netzach. Meaning, Kichol is Pashtus. By the way, that's what we learned. Milah is, also we learned, Chashmal, today they use it for electricity in Israel. Chashmal is under Merkav of Hashem. He saw a revelation of Elokus called Chashmal. So it says, Chashmal, right, Chashmal. Chash means silent, Mal means to talk. Milah, to talk, to reveal. So it says, Milah is taking the hidden levels, Chash, and making it Mal, revealed. Yeah, but Milah is Chashmal. Chashmal, Mal is Milah. But he says also here that that's why but he says that's the level of Milah, which is revealing that level of Elokus. Milah means to reveal. Well, how do you say speech in? It says, what does Targum say? Umemalel Hashem Moshe. Milah is Aramaic for talking. Talking is Gilui. What does Bris Milah do? By removing the covering, not only the thick one, but even the thin one later on, yeah, that allows this level of Ak, you say the Ak and Yud Gimel Midas Rachma, all that stuff to be revealed.
What is Le'emor?
What?
Le'emor.
Le'emor.
I thought it's Moshe Rabbeinu's last name.
No. Last name was Rabinovich.